took a look at the Minnesota Vikings last night, and actually
whoop 'em.
Watched a couple of games, the Carolina game, and I was interested in what happened in the Cleveland game. That was a 14-7 game. I was wondering why so low scoring, what were the problems. Cleveland had the ball twice inside the 12-yard line and won fourth down, went for it both times, didn't kick field goals, went for it and got stopped. Or they could have put some more points on the board, but they failed to do that. What I'm interested to do with the Vikings is I think defensively for the Cowboys, it is going to be what direction do you want to go as far as trying to defend the run, but make sure that Kirk Cousins in his play-action game, a lot of snaps from underneath center in the games that I was able to watch. The shotgun stuff was all kind of on third downs. But his early downs are going to be underneath center. It's going to be play-action. I wonder if the Cowboys, in what direction that they might go with, if it's, okay, do you take Diggs and put him on Justin Jefferson, or do you take him and put him on Adam Thielen? And I'm kind of at that point right now where I feel like you can't just have him travel with one guy. I kind of feel like you're going to have to mix this up. Now, what's
the benefit of that?
Well, I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and maybe disrupt Kirk Cousins and how he might want to deliver the ball, maybe on certain down and distances. I think maybe early downs you might want to go with Jefferson and on first and second down, and then on third downs I think maybe you want to go with Thielen and try and shut him down in this game, because I was looking for a pattern. I was looking for a way. Okay, when this gets going, when they get into those 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 situations, where's Cousins going with the football? And I kind of feel like, though, that he goes towards Adam Thielen a little bit more. Jefferson makes some third down catches, don't get me wrong, but I kind of felt like watching the tape that Thielen was a guy that he kind of targeted a little bit more in those situations. So I'm not going to let him get a read on me just saying, okay, I'm going to walk with Justin Jefferson this whole time. And then, I think this is going to be one of those games you're going to have to find a way to mix some things up and maybe make it a little bit uncomfortable for him as far as who he wants to throw the ball to. Now, he might just say, listen, I'm going to stay away from Diggs regardless. My guy, either Thielen or Jefferson. They also have this guy KJ Osborne that they like to get him involved as well. But the two primary guys are going to be Jefferson and Thielen. So I'm kind of thinking, how do I match up with them? And I'm not sure I have a great answer for that right now. But it's about Anthony Brown.
It's about getting after Cousins. That's a play right there. I don't know if he processes things the best. And then when you intimidate him a little bit, get him on edge, I don't think he's got confidence that gets him back on track.
Yeah, I think Jeff was absolutely right. Jeff had seen Minnesota play a little bit, probably some TV games and stuff like that.
I haven't called him P-word.
Yeah,
I did.
I
think I was right too, Brian.
You were. Yeah, you did call him a P word. That's
pompous. I think.
Pompous. Yeah, exactly.
You like that?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I think timid would be pretty good for him too. But Jeff was right yesterday when he told you that the problems that they have are inside. It seemed to me that where Cleveland was able to attack, and then also the Carolina a little bit more, was the inside stuff. It was when pressure came through the middle, and what Cleveland did was a really good job of walking their secondary up, whether that was a safety or a corner, and then ran that through the middle. Now, when a corner, take the slot corner and try and run him and then cover over the top with the safety. So anything that you can do to disrupt him, but Jeff's right, through the middle of this offensive line, I think with Bradbury and Cleveland and those guys, I think that there's a little bit better chance of kind of throwing this guy off his game.
How well equipped do you think the Cowboys are to do that? Osa early in the year was getting a bunch of penetration, but overall I wouldn't say that you're good on the interior, unless you're talking about like Micah Parsons trucking through the A-gap.
Yeah, I think that maybe what I would try to do is, and you mentioned this yesterday too, this Christian Darrisaw, who is from Virginia Tech, who's finally a rookie tackle that's is making these starts. And I think what I would try to do is you've seen, and it was especially in the Carolina game, you saw Randy Gregory on some twist stunts where you were able to attack him in the middle of the line. And I mean, maybe you run your defensive tackles out and then try and get Cleveland and Bradbury and those guys off balance. And then once they commit to being off balance, then you work your ends back to the middle of the pocket. And I kind of feel like that might be that you'll see them maybe move Darrisaw around. I mean, move him around, make him have to adjust, make Cleveland have to adjust as well, Bradbury as well. So Randy through the middle, maybe now it's about walking. We've seen last week against New England, we saw a little bit more of Curse off the edge. Maybe you put Curse down in that position where you would normally have Keon O'Neal at that linebacker spot and then run him. Maybe you could run Parsons through the A or the B gap as well. But I think the pressure is going to have to come through the middle of the pocket. That looked like to me that gave him the most issue. This guy wants absolutely nothing to do with holding the football with pressure. He does not want to take a sack, and he will make some terrible throws, even though he hasn't turned over the ball very much this year. Only 2 interceptions this year for him. But if you can force him to he'll throw the ball like his arm will get hit, it'll flutter, things like that. I think if you get close enough to him, you could force him to make some bad throws, especially on third down. There were a couple different times where I felt like that, okay, guy open, but pressure was too much, and he missed on that throw. And so keep an eye on attacking the middle of the pocket. How you match up on the outside, I think, is going to be key.
You wouldn't want to get hit like that if you were if you were built like him, Brian. I'll tell you that much.
Kind of
That's
smallish
the problem right there. You know, it's amazing to me how the big neck players can take such violent collisions and get up and be like, hey, that's fine.
Can they?
Most of them can.
Because Van Der Esch has a pretty big neck.
Okay, yeah. It doesn't apply to all of them, I suppose.
Okay.
You know, if you got spinal stenosis, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But like Daniel Jones, right? If he's just a little bit stronger and built like a tight end or a running back, he gets up from that. But so then you take it down another full degree from Daniel Jones in terms of size and build.
A lot
and
slight.
that's Kirk Cousins, man. I would be terrified, too, to get hit. If you're big like Dak or Cam Newton or Ben, you're like, yeah, whatever.
Tebow.
Get out of my way. I'd take a hit.
Yeah.
That guy's, his career's on the line every time a defensive end comes at him.
You're right about that. And the ball comes out of there quickly, though. He just does not want to hold the ball with any type of time at all. Now, okay, you're going to have to deal with this Dalvin Cook. And I feel like this is a team that plays actually with a real fullback. C.J. Ham, number 30, they put him in the backfield. They have him as a lead blocker. So now you're talking about, okay, Parsons, Van Der Esch, people on the edge, Keon O'Neal, Curse, who's ever on the outside. There's going to be a fullback coming downhill. There's going to be Dalvin Cook. Where Dalvin Cook kills you is when he bounces the ball. And so, Randy, the edge, let's see what happens. Golston, those guys can't get trapped down in the inside. They can't say, okay, we're going to run to chase.
Oh, I got to go get him. No, you got to stay and do your job.
You got to, exactly. And it means keeping that outside shoulder free, making them have to stretch. The more you can make the play stretch and not let Cook get turned up the field, the better chance you have of stopping him. So these linebackers are going to have to deal with a fullback. They're going to have to deal with a back that likes to bounce it. And, he's a tough guy, but you got to get him kind of moving sideways to get him down. Don't let him get his shoulders up the field and get turned up on you. So safety play, down in the alley, cornerbacks coming up, edge players, all these guys are going to have a huge factor in being able to control the running game for the Minnesota Vikings.
Sounds like maybe you want more Chauncey Golston at end and more Micah Parsons at linebacker.
Absolutely,
if you ask me, Brian.
You're absolutely right about that. Okay, real quickly on the defensive side of things, you're going to have to deal with Danielle Hunter. He, I think, is their best pass rusher. You're very familiar with Dalvin Tomlinson from the Giants.
Big boy.
Yeah, he is a big body guy. That's the one thing you notice about the Vikings. They are a big team inside, those big defensive linemen.
It's Mike Zimmer, homie.
That is.
Fullbacks and big humans.
Absolutely. So, keep an eye, like I say, Danielle Hunter. He's going to move around. He's going to play left, right. Eric Kendricks, the linebacker, I think is a really, really good player. Super, super active running around. I kind of feel like that you can attack these cornerbacks. Xavier Woods, by the way, is the starting safety. Him and Harrison Smith are the starting safeties for the Minnesota Vikings. Brashard Breeland is a guy, he used to be with the Redskins. He came from the Chiefs. They've struggled a little bit at cornerback spot. So if sometimes you can get some protection, you can get the ball. There were plenty of times where the ball, I remember Cleveland, it was a 3rd and 19, and they run the ball for 20 yards to get a first down right before. So there's some tackling issues right there. Harrison Smith, I think, is a good enough cover guy, but he'll bounce off some tackles as well. He's always around the football. So Vikings defensively, I think you can move the ball on them, though you just have to be aware of where number 99 is. He's the guy that can wreck your offensive scheme with his pass rush.
Final verdict, Brian, a win or a loss?
I'm going right now with
win by 40.
I'm going right now.
43-3.
I think the Cowboys can win this game. I do, but I think it's going to be one of those things like Bassick was talking about. How do you play against these receivers? Are they going to be able to make plays? Is it going to turn into a shootout? Kirk Cousins, he's capable of putting up yards, not always points. Him and Dak Prescott are going to go head-to-head in this. It's going to be a battle of receivers to see which one of these teams make the most plays. I think the Cowboys can make more than the Vikings can right now.